That alone, it's not going anywhere. So in this world we live in, there's two types of people. Two types of racers, I should say. There's normal racers that, you know, race in the middle of summer. It's warm, it can be hot. You know, weather doesn't play too much of a factor. You race outdoors. And then there's outlaw kart racers. People that race in the winter, the coldest time of year. It's wet, rainy, and snowy. And, you know, they go out on a whim and load a car in the back of a truck to go racing. Throw everything in the back seat that you're gonna need. Tires, air, other bags, tools. And the first type of racer that I described, those are the normal ones. The second type of racer were the crazy ones. So yeah, we have my kart, which just ran last in Shawnee, Oklahoma with a different body on it and kind of repaired after our crash. Loaded in the back of the truck, and Carly is gonna take it racing this weekend, but right now it doesn't have an engine. We gotta get an engine at the track. We're borrowing an engine from the car. Who are we borrowing an engine from?
Jimmy Yellage, the guy that owns QRC, who Tanner races for. Unfortunately, my personal stuff cannot make it up this weekend, and I really want to race, so I did everything I had to do. I helped Tanner repair his car, reached out to Jimmy. He said I could run one of his, so
we're heading racing.
Yeah.
We're heading racing, like I said, best time of the year. You're probably wondering why we're not taking this trailer here behind us. This thing has to leave later this weekend, and it has to go really far north to pick up some stuff, so we weren't able to take it, and we kind of just threw all this together, and I'm racing for Jimmy this weekend. He's bringing our red house carts up, so long story short, we just got to get this car to the track, we got to get the stand to the track, we got to get all of our parts to the track, and we got to get to the track, and then we're gonna go racing and get to work. Yeah, it's a great idea, guys. Great idea.
So if you look, there's a sleeve in here. Well, it busted the sleeve and came out that, but the piston itself is, no, it's just, it broke off the thing. But it didn't even drop a valve. But it didn't hurt the head, didn't hurt the cases. The crank just knocked the cylinder out. But the head is fine. Probably needs some valves, but it didn't even bend a valve. I mean, the valves are still all in place in the top. It just broke a rod. This piece right here is part of the cylinder. This piece right here and right here, that's part of the cylinder. So that's part of this piece. So when you take the head off, you've got to drop a new cylinder in here anyway. This is all part of the cylinder, but it didn't hurt the cases. Broke the rod. We'll have to see what the crank looks like, but I'm thinking that it's an easy fix. Not gonna fix it today though.
No, we are not fixing it today. But yeah, our guy that builds our engines, he's just out of Northern California.
Fast forward.
Four front racing engines. So basically, wait, Dad. So it basically wasn't as catastrophic as we thought, or as it looked.
Oh, it looks bad.
It looked, well, yeah.
And it still could be, I mean, you still could be having to get a crank and everything else, but I'm hoping that it's just not as bad as it looks. I'm hoping it's just a cylinder with a piston and a rod. Hopefully the crank's good. And it's gonna need some valves.
Yes. So that was a quick inside look from my dad, who I would say is not a huge engine guy, but the one thing he has worked on, and like when me and him raced the most together in Outlaw Karts, was in the 250 class and then kind of getting into the opens, and we were only running 4 strokes. That's why my personal kart has this, because he knows a 4-stroke best, and we ran KTMs 99% of the time, so that is what he knows best. And we've actually had, you know, pretty good luck over the years in not having anything go terribly, terribly wrong, but this one on track was one of the worst. And of course, when you get back to the trailer and there's a hole in the engine, that definitely does not look good, a little bit jaw-dropping, but in this situation, we have our fingers crossed that the rebuild process is not gonna be as bad as we would think. And I kind of touched on this after the races, but I kind of feel like something was bound to happen with this engine. And I don't mean because it has way too many races on it or it's starting to get old and worn out, nothing like that. It's just this engine has been so good to us. We've won a lot of races, we've never had any issues, or at least for a while. And even some of my competitors, like they had commented, they would see me and be like, man, your 4-stroke has no issues ever, ours always does. We're having problems blowing up left and right, rebuilding, and like ours, like it just, you hit the button, it turns on, it goes fast, you shut it off, you repeat the process. And then after all that time, you know, unfortunately at the highest paying Outlaw Kart race I've ran to date, we had a shot obviously there at winning, and that is when it bit us. I figured I'd let you guys know. We decided to just can the tarps. We're going racing like this.